Welcome to Detroit. It's SFL Late Night on the Virtual Football Network. A pair of 2-1 teams who win games in very different ways clash in the middle of the country tonight. Hello and a very warm welcome. My name is Michael Torello. Happy to have your company. Alongside me in commentary is Anthony Ellison. We've got John Smith and Takeda Yuki on stats. Detroit doesn't like to score a lot of points, but they love to control the ball. 18th in points per game, 3rd in rushing offense. On the other hand, Lexington can't really stop anything. 20th in points against per game, but 4th in points per game at 31.3. They're gunslingers that love to throw the rock. It's time to see which of these contrasting styles will come out on top, Anthony.
Yeah, it's going to be really key to Detroit to make sure that he stops them on the defense early, because Lexington was going to come out and fire the ball and get points early on the board. So we're going to see what JW defense does for Detroit.
Detroit in the home purple and black. Lexington in the road orange and light blue. Game on as the Maulers and the Miners go head-to-head in a battle of teams that its nicknames start with M, as the best returner in league history. Gabriel Manning brings that one out to the 26. Let's meet the Lexington offense. His 3rd season under center. Kenny Slider is the quarterback. Deion James and Ian Francis at running back. At wide receiver, it's the legend, the Hall of Famer Gabriel Manning, alongside Alexander West and Marquise Sango. Tight end DJ Bandit and Chris Alter, and on the offensive line, Ricky LaFleur, Donnie Traverson, Oliver Tarask, Zena West, Phoebe Collins, and Jasmine Swift. 1st and 10 from the 26. They go left to right in the orange helmets, white jerseys, and orange pants trimmed in sky blue. The handoff goes to Deion James. He gets nothing as he's tackled by Chris Delro. Let's meet the Maulers' defense. On the defensive line, Thomas Matthews, Frodo Lagan, Sean Parent, who leads the SFL in sacks, and Robert Cherry. On the linebacker spot, Kenneth Gaston Jr., Casper Haddock, and Matthias Citrion. In the secondary, J.W. Hartshorn, and King Rashid, Rick Evans, Chris Delro, Lamar Sudi, and Jubilee Marsh as 3rd and manageable 4 coming up for Lexington.
And already you see Lexington, they tried to run on 1st down, wasn't effective. They want to pass the ball. So Detroit wants to make sure you can keep them out of there. You know Manning is the big target for that team.
The offensive line gives Slider just enough time to find Alex West for a 1st down. You mentioned Gabriel Manning being the big target. He has double the number of catches as the next highest on the team. That would be Alex West, but is still without a receiving touchdown on the season. Manning, of course, is 3 touchdowns shy of tying Boo Chisholm for 7th in league history with 104. 1st and 10 after moving the sticks just shy of the 40. Slider against the 5-man rush stands. It delivers, and a big hit on the back end by Chris Delro, the former Carolina Skyhawk and Nashville Tempo player, will break that one up. 2nd and 10.
And like you were talking about with Manning and West, they're averaging 16 yards a catch. But those are big plays right there. So it's going to be really important from the front 4 of Detroit to get some pressure without bringing extra pressure, so you can have more coverage in the back.
Linebacker double blitz. Slider gets the pass away, and wide open is West over the middle, one-on-one with Sudi for a big 1st down across midfield.
And good job identifying the blitz. That's exactly what you want right there by Kenny Slider. You throw to where they were blitzing at. They were blitzing on that right side. One-on-one man coverage right there. Good seam route down the middle. Throw it to the inside so only West can catch that ball.
Alex West with 2 catches early on for the Miners as they're into Detroit territory at the 44-yard line. 8:09 to go 1st quarter, still scoreless. Slider into double coverage, and somehow Manning hangs on to that one, and we do have a flag for roughing the passer that will move Lexington further into Detroit territory all the way to the 21.
And we look at the replay right here, number 51, the leading sack goer for the league right there, Sean Parent, played in Chicago last year, just got there a little bit too late and hit the quarterback right there. I could have went either way.
We mentioned that Parent leads the league in sacks with 6, but all 6 of his tackles on the year are sacks. He doesn't have any other ones. Oh, look out! Kenny Slider didn't even have time to read the coverage before his back was on the grass.
Such a big fan right there. Double blitz from your linebackers right there. They just sent more than what Lexington can block. If you want to slow down the pass, they're trying to go with pressure here and just hopefully they can get to it. If not, they're going to see a lot of one-on-one coverage right.
Aggressive from the Detroit defense. This time they rush only 4 underneath. It goes to West. His third catch, of this first drive sets up 3rd down and 5 at the 16-yard line. Decent drive here from Lexington into field goal range, but you know with how few points the Maulers score, any touchdown is going to be a hammer blow early on. Parent rips him down. There's sack and tackle number 7 on the year.
You know how happy this Detroit team was when you can pick up an absolute stud in free agency like you did right there with Parent. It's nothing special. It is a rip move. You get underneath the lineman's arms, and then you can go straight to the quarterback right there. That is just textbook.
Picked Parent up from Chicago in the offseason where he was an all-star in season 24. So Lexington is going to have to turn to Takeda Yuki to get them on the board. That field goal is up and good, 3-0 Miners. But in that first drive, Anthony, we saw exactly where our focus is going to be all night. Defensive front for Detroit against offensive front for Lexington.
And you saw it several times when they got the pressure, they sent 2 blitzers, so they got 6 people going. And the majority of the time, Lexington is blocking 5 because they're sending out so much, offensive power right there. So you got to look at it. On your second drive, you might want to have double tight end set and identify those blitzers early.
Nice return by Rob Hunt to the 29-yard line. Let's meet the Maulers defense. It's the former offensive rookie of the season, Ethan Flowers at quarterback, Andrew Gibson and Joel Harleman at running back, Terrell Sutherland at fullback, wide receivers Rob Hunt, and Jimmy Wint. Smash those together to make a new player. CJ Parrish is also a wide receiver. Tight ends Goradul Khan and Robert Henson Jr. Offensive line Portia Henderson, Hadrian Marlowe, Jimmy Hayes, and Jack Big Boss. Just shy of the 30, the purple-clad Maulers will start. They'll hand the ball off to Andrew Gibson. He is the league leader in carries on the year. That is his 75th, and picks up 7 yards on first down.
And the matchup we're going to want to see, Mike, is going to be Chris Andrews, number 52 for Lexington, against this offensive line right here. Got 15 tackles for a defensive lineman for the season already.
The pitch to Harleman, close to a first down, and they will pick it up as Harleman on the outside run that time.
And
Chris
what
Andrews
Detroit
leads all defensive ends in the league in tackles with 15. Fresh set of downs for Detroit. Offset eye, handoff. Gibson right side gets 5.
And this is absolutely textbook right here. We know Detroit is going to come out. They're second in the league with 136 carries by all their running backs here, and 3 straight plays running the football. They have confidence in their offensive line to push this front 7.
All-out blitz from Lexington. Great job by the O-line, but the pass is incomplete off the hands of the intended receiver. Ethan Flowers did exactly what he was supposed to do there.
Yeah, keep it very simple. They're making a really simple playbook for Ethan Flowers, second year, offensive rookie of the year. They're trying to make it really simple. 3rd and 5. This is a doable 3rd down.
But the blitz gets through. Look out below. The 2 sacks that have happened tonight have both been instant. Mike Mello, the 6'2", 275, 7-season man, gets through for the sack.
It was a slightly delayed blitz. The center did not get off the blocker, and that was just a free hit. You cannot have your quarterback get hit like that from a big linebacker all game.
That was Mello's second tackle of the year and first sack. Not a lot of work for Mike Mello early on in this season. And the ball goes immediately back to Lexington after Detroit only picks up 1 first down on that drive. And one of the downsides to being this ball control, low scoring, grinded out team is if you're behind, what does your passing attack look like when you're not used to running it?
And that is what Lexington is thinking, Mike. Like, they want to get points early on, force Ethan Flowers to throw the football and see what he has.
Lexington back on offense. They got 3 points their first drive, and a handoff to Dion James. The 2 times that Lexington has handed the ball off, they've gone backwards.
I really want to avoid running up the middle right now. If you're Lexington, if you are running it, bounce it to the outside. They just have too much strength in the middle.
Big unbalanced formation here for Lexington. Everybody to the bottom side of the formation. On 2nd and 11, another blitz comes. The underneath pass is complete by Manning. Spins away from 1 and a second, and he picks up a first down on 2nd and 11.
Just, the veteran doing what he does right there, able to break off 2 tackles. Just a nice little comeback route. Was able to just dodge the first defender, spin off of 1, and that's what they want. They have to get the ball out quickly because Detroit is coming with pressure.
Jubilee Marsh was the attempted tackler on that one. Got completely spun away from. 1st and 10 up near the 40. Now for Lexington, the handoff goes to James again and barely gets back to the line of scrimmage. Tackled by Frodo Laggins. That first drive from Lexington, 10 plays, 38 yards, and a field goal. 37 of those yards through the air.
So you know what their bread and butter is right there. They're trying to do something on the run, but they're just ready to pass the football.
More aggressive defense from Detroit. It works out that time, as Alex West couldn't pick up that ball in double coverage, 3rd and 10.
And that time, Donnie Treverson and Oliver Tarsi, the 2 tackles, gave a good pocket right there. You didn't have to rush it. You could just step up and make a good throw.
3rd and 10, 5 wide. Empty set for Lexington. 4 down linemen, no linebackers in the middle. Everybody's going to drop back. Underneath it goes. Marquis Sango actually gets close and picks it up.
You had him before the first down right there. First of all, tough catch. And then able to just keep moving your legs. That's why you don't skip leg days, folks. You go in there, you keep on driving. You're not down until both knees touch the ground.
Alex West also had a big block in the middle there to try to spring Sango for that first down. We are going to get a challenge on the spot of the ball here.
I like that. Let's see, where was the knee down before the ball crossed the plane? And my thing is, I think like he was on top of the defender, so that is good. Knees down.
Yeah, I think he's got it. I think he's got it from that last angle that we got. Matthias Citrion came in to try and, oh my goodness, they gave it Detroit's way.
Wow.
Well, there you go. 4th and inches, and we'll see if Lexington pulls the trigger here just shy of the 50-yard line, and they will not. They will give the ball to Itachi Yuki to punt it away.
That's tough right there. I might have went for it.
Yeah, me too, because with this Detroit team, you never know when you'll get the ball back. They will pin the Maulers deep just outside the 20-yard line at the 23 after a return by Rob Hunt. Let's meet the Lexington defense. We didn't get a chance to do that last time. Defensive line, Chris Andrews, R.C. Puff, Berto DeMora, Mike Mello, Brenda Puff, and Jaden Swift stacked on that defensive line. Linebackers, Philadelphia Collins, Iggy Turner, and Tony Roberto. Corners, Nate Heslep, Jay Rock, and Cameron Shaw. Safeties, Travis Arthur and Marco Swift. Backside handoff goes to Terrell Sutherland, the fullback. Darrell Sullivan is tied for second in rushing yards among fullbacks this season. He's tied with T. Roy Gaines with 108 yards. J.W. Doyle of Florida is first in that category with 224, putting all fullbacks in the dust. 2-yard pickup, 2nd and 8. Here is I formation with 2 left, 1 right on the receiver side. They'll go back to Sutherland, and the inside draw not good enough as Iggy Turner stops that one for no gain.
And I think Lexington's starting to understand that you need to be more of a run defensive team right now, because you want to see Detroit pass the ball. And you want to see what they can do. It's already in a situation needing to pass the ball, and that's a good job by Lexington forcing this.
Ethan Flowers backed up in passing position here, 3rd and 8 across the formation. Make it 2 by 2. Hunt in the slot on the left. He'll roll the other way, throw underneath, and a little behind C.J. Parrish, who had inside position there, but it's a 3 and out for the Maulers.
They had what they wanted to. They picked up the defensive end on the outside. Good job by the running back to pick it up the block. Just didn't make the throw, and now Lexington gets the ball back with pretty good field position.
You talk about Ethan Flowers coming in. 36 of 61, that's 59% completion percentage. 427 yards, that's 22nd in the league, second to last. 3 interceptions, just 1 touchdown with a quarterback rating of 65.5. Low-scoring game here early on, late in this first quarter. Lexington 3, Detroit nothing. Lexington, after their 10-play, 38-yard field goal drive to begin the quarter, it's been punt, punt, punt. After that, the ball is back with the visiting Miners. And in the backfield is Tion James. He's going to have a tough night tonight.
Yeah, that's going to be really tough right there. Laggins was able to just get past that block and just disrupt things in the backfield.
-3 rushing yards total on the night for Lexington. As they go deep, and a flag, and the catch.
Might be roughing the passer.
Chris Delro laid the hit, and it's roughing the passer again, the 2nd time tonight that Detroit has been called for roughing the passer. That moves Lexington all the way to the Detroit 36.
And the thing is, and yeah, you can't do that. Okay, that was a clear-cut roughing the passer right there. Everybody should see it. You got to let go. Once the ball is out the air, just put your hands up. You know you're going to get back to the quarterback there, but you can't give up a first down.
It's a great catch by Manning on that last play to get the yardage that was eventually tacked on to by the penalty. Slider, clean pocket. Manning to near the 20-yard line. This is what Lexington does best.
Right there, just recognize the soft coverage in the zone. I love that right there. Cover 3, safeties in the middle, didn't come down enough and able just to sit in that zone.
Teddy Slider coming in tonight. 52% completion, 575 yards. 3 touchdowns, 3 picks. 4-man rush. Parent gets home. I have a feeling we'll be calling number 51's name a lot tonight, as that will end the first quarter on a big sack by Detroit.
Look, and this is exactly what Coach J.W. is talking about his defense. It's about to be overly aggressive, and you saw some of the penalties, the roughing the passers, and that's something they got to clean up. But the point is, get to the quarterback so they don't pass it to Manning and Alex West like they don't. So that's what we saw.
3-0 Lexington at the end of the first quarter, but the Miners in position to score once again as we start the second. This is the Simulation Football League here on the Virtual Football Network. Michael Turillo and Anthony Ellison holding it down for you on SFL Late Night. We got John Smith and Takeda Yuki on stats. Cameron Irvine, producer extraordinaire as well. Tough spot for Lexington as they've got 2nd and 15. Slider deals underneath, caught by Sango, who is hurt on the play, but has officially doubled his amount of catches so far this season. Came into the season with 2, has 2 tonight for 4. but they're going to lose tight end 1 for Lexington there.
Let's hope he can get back and everything is okay.
Correction, Sango is the 3rd wide receiver, not the first tight end. I had that backwards. But still, not a piece you want to lose, especially after he gave you 2 big catches early on in this game. 3rd and 5 after you got 10 back after a 2nd and 15. Well inside field goal range, but they'll want to continue. 5-man rush. Slider hit as he throw, and the ball flutters to the turf well shy of Gabriel Manning, and it's going to be a field goal situation again for Lexington. And every time the Miners get a field goal instead of a touchdown, that's a win for Detroit.
That's a huge win for Detroit because Detroit wants to play low-scoring football. If you look at their games when they won, they only gave up 6 points, 13 points. And when they lost, you know, the Queen City, they gave up 21 points. But
oh, it's a miss! Takeda Yuki banged it off the upright, and it's still 3-0.
That's what you don't want to see. That gives Detroit life. Oh, wow.
But now Detroit's going to have to convert. Their offense has been stagnant, just 17 total yards and no passing yards so far for the Maulers as we hit the first possession for them of the 2nd quarter. Oh my goodness. Philadelphia Collins almost took the handoff for Andrew Gibson.
Both of these teams are absolutely playing defense and laying the boom. So it's who can make the adjustment quicker.
Detroit immediately throwing that play out the window, going 5 wide, 3 down linemen, but they send 2 blitzers to the Miners, but the secondary covers well. Nate Heslep with the pass knocked down, 3rd and 13.
3rd and long here, so you can see Lexington, you can bring some pressure, you can pin your ears back and go after the quarterback, and they got to pass the ball here.
Ethan Flowers 0 for 4, needs a big completion here, but the Miners drop 8 in coverage. On 3rd and long, he'll roll right, have a clean pocket, and find Rob Hunt for a 1st down.
Big 1st down pass right there by Ethan Flowers. You need that nice little rollout, got protection, set your feet, and deliver a strike to the 1st down marker.
My question is, how was Hunt that wide open with 8 drop coverage?
Behind 2 defenders and in front of 1. The 3 defenders around that area and still got a 1st down.
First pass completion for the Maulers. Hand off. And this is what Detroit wants to do. Get ahead of the chains. Terrell Sutherland with a nice carry. He had -6 yards previously on 4 attempts.
That's a good run right there. Now it's 2nd and short. You can pass the ball, but if you don't get it on 3rd down, you can also still run it.
2nd and 5 off a tight set. Heavy pocket congestion. A slow developing play, and the pass incomplete, intended for Robert Henson Jr. That's a tough catch for a tight end to make over the shoulder in coverage.
Really tough right there. A lot of time. Good job by the offensive line with the protection there. Just couldn't get the completion.
Now 3rd and 5. Lexington once again puts only 3 men on the line. Will they blitz or drop 8? They'll blitz. They'll blitz 3. That means somebody's open, but Ethan Flowers can't get in the same zip code as him, and it's 4th and 5.
Recognize that it was a blitz coming. Good job picking up the blitz, but also good job Ethan moving over in the pocket. Just missed time to throw on that one-on-one coverage.
So 1 1st down for Detroit on the drive. They have 2 1st downs in the game with 8:33 to go here in the 1st half. Low snap. Milan Thalas punts it away. And Lexington has a chance to extend their 3-0 lead. I mentioned in chat in the first game of the night, Florida, Minnesota, and I said something about I went to a football game and a soccer game broke out. I should have saved my comment for this one.
Yeah, low scoring game.
8:25 to go here in the 2nd quarter. Moving across the formation there. is Walter Young. Pressure coming quickly, intercepted by King Rashid. Maybe that's the boost that Detroit needed.
Oh yeah, we saw this coming, Mike. The pressure on top of pressure. That time, nobody blocked him, and then good job, one-on-one coverage, recognized the ball. King Rashid loves to be aggressive right there. This whole defense is aggressive. Now you're already in field goal position to try to get a score.
That may be the best one-on-one matchup we have today. King Rashid, 8-season veteran, former defensive rookie of the year, all the way back in season 18 against the Hall of Famer as Terrell Sutherland gets a nice gain through the middle of 9 yards against Hall of Famer Gabriel Manning at wide receiver. And the score is 1-0 Rashid.
Yeah, I like that matchup for the rest of the game.
2nd and 1. QB sneak first down. That's an interesting wrinkle on 3rd and short.
Different. I love a different play call here. Ethan can run the football as well. He does have some carries this season. He can run it.
13 carries for 21 yards for Flowers before this game started. That's his 14th carry of the season. Look at it, back to Sutherland. They like what they see about the fullback running downhill. That's a 2nd straight 9-yard gain on 1st down.
Like you said in the beginning, one of the top-tier fullbacks there can catch it out of the backfield, but loves to run the football down the hill.
Sutherland all the year. 108 rushing yards in the top 30 in the league. Another carry for Flowers for a 1st down. And we were told by Coach Hartshorn they added a new wrinkle to the offense, specifically in short yardage situations. And I wonder if that's it, that QB sneak.
Yeah, did it twice already for a 1st down. You got to make sure you slide. Be careful because you took a big hit right there, Flowers.
Now,
I like it.
Now inside the 5, all eyes on Sutherland in that fullback spot. But it will be a throw, and a missed timing there. Jimmy Wint was on the outside. Flowers threw it behind him, 2nd and goal.
And you got to throw that towards the pylon right there. Just got to be careful throwing it inside. Go back to your running game. I like it.
Go back to that I formation, sending C.J. Parrish in motion. That gets a defender out of the box. With Cameron Shaw going out to cover.
Yes.
It's the pitch to Sutherland for the touchdown. Beautiful execution, and Detroit turns the interception into 6 points.
Quick breakdown. Why was that open? That motion showed you that you had man coverage. And so that means they saw the blitz on the outside, and they just had the running back slide out to where the blitz was, wide open. That is a great play call. I love the whole play call of that series after the turnover.
Only the 2nd passing touchdown of the season for Ethan Flowers. Terrell Sutherland's 1st receiving touchdown of the year, on only his 2nd catch of the season. That's really a run. It goes down as a passing touchdown, but in all purposes, like, that's just a push.
Yeah, pretty much. It's in disguise.
So now Detroit with the lead, which is where they want to be, and it's not like Lexington hasn't had chances to really put this one out of reach early. 2 red zone drives. They've both been stopped for field goal attempts, and one that Takeda Yuki just flat out missed. Makes it a 7-3 ball game with 6.5 to go here in the 1st half.
So now Lexington, it's time to respond here. You recognize Detroit is going to bring the pressure to your face. You got to find ways to get Manning open in that offense.
I know they just threw an interception when they went Manning's way, but I'd like to see Gabriel Manning get more involved. Just 4 targets on the game so far, but 37 yards, 9.3 yards per reception for Manning on the night. The pocket collapses, and that's a great pass over the middle. That's caught by Alex West. who came into the day 8 catches behind Manning for the team lead. He's outpacing him 7-4 right now.
Yeah, I like that. You got to move him around there. Nice little in route. The pressure's there. It's going to be one-on-one coverage on the outside for Detroit.
Try a stretch run on 2nd and inches, and that's their most effective run of the night. Their first run that didn't go for either 1-0 or negative yards.
I love it. I love a good stretch run there because your intention is to go outside, but if the linebacker's over pursuit, you have the cut back lane like they did right there so you can get the first down.
D-line shifts. Maulers showing pressure here. They'll throw a little screen pass out to Manning, and Detroit blew that one up immediately. Casper Haddock with the tackle.
Yeah, and we saw those little comeback routes in the first drive there that led to 3 points, but Detroit is all over it. Good job being there right when the ball is thrown.
2nd and 8, Slider back in the gun, flanked by James and Francis. They'll pitch it to James. He's hammered by Citrion for a loss of 2.
And he's just showing that he is really trying to blow up in the play in the backfield. If it's not on sacks, it's for running right there. Good job knifing through and making a play.
3rd and long now. 2 by 2, the wide receivers, 4 down linemen, just 1 in the middle for Detroit. Manning goes to the overload on the right-hand side. Watch him, he's in the slot, wearing number 18. That leaves one-on-one coverage on this near side. Slider's gonna take off and run, and he's gonna slide down shy of the first down into plus territory. 4th and 3. Citrion was there, and I don't blame Slider for not wanting to take a hit.
Oh, I don't blame him at all because he's been taking hits from those blitzes right there. Good job by Detroit masking that zone coverage.
But it does mean that Detroit's going to get the ball back. Just over 4 minutes to go in the first quarter. They're going to be pretty deep at their own 15-yard line after a fair catch by Rob Hunt. But this is the kind of position that the Maulers like to find themselves in. Up 7-3. It would not surprise me if they get most, if not all of this first half salted away on this drive if they get that run game going. But it's single back on 1st down. Delayed handoff up the middle to Gibson. He carries a defender for 9 yards. So that's 3 straight sets of downs, concluding the last drive, Anthony, where they've started with a 9-yard run.
And Mike, we know this is what they want to do. They want to play defense and shut them down and then run the football to drain the clock.
Another 2nd and short slide for a first down by Ethan Flowers. That's 3 for 3 now. And that wrinkle, probably something that Lexington wasn't expecting because they have not defended it well.
3 first downs are coming from those quarterback sneaks, and they're on 2nd and short. So you have to stop them on 1st down to avoid that.
Sutherland with a nice cut up the inside. That one looked destined for a negative gain, but Sutherland, just a big dude, 6'4", 245, able to dive forward for 6 yards.
Superb blocking. I love it.
Now back to I. Flowers gonna take off again. Fumbled the football. Gibson right there to fall on it, and that's the danger of those quarterback runs.
And you can't run with the football like that. You're just having it just swing, and it's easy to punch it out right there. Slide if you can't get any more yardage, but you have to be careful.
And it looked like Flowers was in the middle of transitioning the ball from his left hand to his right hand to try and avoid the hit when he got popped, and that ball came right out. But 3rd and inches, it's a QB sneak, it's a first down. And I want to shout out someone in the chat who said 3-man fronts don't do well against that quarterback sneak, and we're seeing it right there.
Nope, he just ran behind 64. Jimmy Hayes for a first down. What he's doing is he's looking at that zero technique and just going to the right or left.
Sutherland up the A-gap for 6. Tackle made by Iggy Turner.
So Mike, what he's doing in that quarterback sneak, when he goes up to the line, he's tapping the center to the right or the left of his hip, because that's where he's going to go, and you block the other way.
2 minutos remaining in this first half. Detroit 7, Lexington 3. Low-scoring, defensive, grindy game as the Maulers try to salt away the rest of that first half. Almost an interception as Heslep undercut the route that Goradul Khan, was running on that outside.
And that's the second time that's been a short on the out route there. You have to be careful because that can be a pick six going the other way.
3rd and 4, empty set. Flowers with time. Now the pocket collapses, and he's going to get bulldozed as he tried to take off. Mike Mello, his 2nd sack of the contest. And that'll give the ball back to Lexington with 3 timeouts and about a minute and a half left in the first half.
Plenty of time to go down the field and try to see if you can take the lead.
Milan Thalas. Ready to punt it away. Detroit using as much time off the clock as possible. A snap with 5 on the play clock. High kick, great coverage, no space for Manning to move. And Manning can break him with the best of them. Number 1 all time in the SFL in both kick returns, kick return yardage, kick return touchdowns, punt returns, punt return yardage, and punt return touchdowns. He is unmatched in the return game in SFL history. One of the many reasons why Gabe Manning is in the Hall of Fame. Big toss on first down, almost intercepted by Rashid again. It's that one-on-one matchup with Gabriel Manning.
And undercutting every route, once again, knowing Rashid had coverage over the top, you can undercut it and you can try to go for the interception.
They'll flip the formation. Everybody to the far side. Parent! He's got a hat trick of first half sacks. Timeout Detroit, because they might get the ball back now.
3 sacks in the first half. It's simple. Put a double team on Parent, and hopefully somebody else can one-on-one it.
3rd and very long. Slider gonna motion. Young in motion. Out to that right-hand side. Gabriel Manning in one-on-one coverage on this near side. Slider rolls away from him, throws deep, tipped, and almost caught. Manning coming across the field, got a fingertip to it, but Citrion credited with the pass deflection. Big 3 and out for Detroit, and a massive field position swing as well.
And we both feel like this is exactly what Detroit wants. Sound defense and getting the ball back so they can just run the football.
Yuki from his own goal line. This will be fielded in Lexington territory. Detroit with 2 timeouts left in plus territory. A chance to further their 7-3 lead going into halftime.
Yeah, and if I'm Detroit, I feel great. Even though it's only 7-3, you know that you're confident in your defense that you're going to give Lexington a hard time here. So now I just want to make sure you are careful with the ball and not fumble.
They're going to go pitch, left-hand side. Nice pickup for Gibson. Doesn't normally receive balls out of the backfield, but a timeout Detroit. In the 2 wins Detroit has this season over Oklahoma City and Pittsburgh, they gave up 13 against OKC and just 6 against Pittsburgh in what Cam told us before the game was the fastest game in league history, an hour and 7 minutes. Flowers to pass, deep, almost picked. Nate Heslep has almost had 2 interceptions late here in this second quarter.
You got to be careful because he's going to be due for one there. I know Detroit wants to get about another 15 yards to be in range for Almir. Her season long is 41.
Still outside field goal range at the moment. Lexington brings the pressure. Throw incomplete. CJ Parrish getting up looking for a flag. There is no laundry on the field. It's 4th down.
That felt like a pass interference. Might have been like a tackle early, but regardless, good defense there. And let's see.
Wow.
They're going for it.
4th and 4. Offense on the field. Aggressive call for Detroit at the end of the first half. And Flowers misses his target by a mile. And it'll turn it over with 32 seconds left. I mean, still 3 timeouts for Lexington here.
Yeah, I would have punted the ball, tried to do a coffin corner and put it in the corner there, back them up, but they probably saw something that we didn't see. But now Lexington get some yardage here, get some first downs.
Combined 180 yards in the first half between these two teams. It's been tough sledding on offense for both. Man coverage as Rashid tracks Manning to the near side of the formation one-on-one. He'll throw a screen out to Deion James. Timeout called. Detroit, that was their last one of the first half. There's the matchup right there, 27-18. Linebackers back up off that line, giving some space in the box. The roll from Slider, the throw into triple coverage looking for Manning, and he can make those work, but not that time. 3rd and 9. And I may just run the ball here and go to halftime.
Yeah, both teams, they are like close to getting turnovers there. I would not try to force it to Manning because Rashid is all over it.
They'll throw for it though, and completed. Manning at the 40, Manning near side. Can he get out of bounds? No, but a timeout called by Lexington. Gutsy call on 3rd down, and eventually the Hall of Famer is gonna be open.
Now we're looking at, are we in field goal range for Takeda Yuki? Long so far today is 45, for the season is 45 yards.
But he missed the chip shot earlier, wide to the right. This one on the way, and it is no good. He pushed it right again.
Oh, you hate to see it. Just pushed it right. Had the time, had the leg for that, but it's just a little bit to the right.
How many times are Lexington gonna come up empty in this first half? And Anthony, it's still 7-3 because Detroit has not been able to really do anything on offense outside of getting extremely short field position after an interception.
Yeah, and easily Lexington can get one of these turnovers right here and get the ball back. This game is still wide open. It's just who's going to make the next mistake.
No timeouts for Detroit. They will finally hand the ball off to Sutherland, and we will head to halftime after a entertaining but low scoring first half. Anthony, both teams are going to have to make massive adjustments here in this first half, in the halftime break.
Yeah, absolutely. This is, I wouldn't say a sloppy game, more of a defensive struggle and offense not clicking on any cylinders right here. So right now, the favorite is for Detroit because they love the low scoring game. Lexington, I have to try to find ways in the passing game to get your receivers open.
Yeah, that one big pass to Gabriel Manning right at the end of the first half is pretty much how they're going to have to operate in the entirety of the second half. I want to see Alex West get back involved. 8 catches, 37 yards for him. 8 catches, 64 yards for Manning. On the other side, I mean, Ethan Flowers, just a couple of pass completions. He had the 1-yard touchdown, but they've done it all in the rushing game. Sutherland 32 yards, Gibson 21 yards, Flowers 12 yards on those QB sneaks. Almost coughed the ball up one though. But it's going to be interesting to see what we've got here in the second half.
Oh, it's going to be very interesting.
Back in Detroit. at Parks Memorial Stadium. Michael Turillo and Anthony Ellison on the broadcast for you tonight. Takeda Yuki and John Smith are on stats. Cameron Irvine, they're on production here on SFL After Dark on a Friday evening. As we almost get to 11 p.m. Eastern time, thanks to all of you staying up and watching some SFL action for us this evening. I was going to talk about how the first games in the block, they didn't really have that much scoring, and maybe we can see some. But now it feels like they've taken all our points.
Yeah, we knew it was going to be like a good defensive battle, but we didn't think it was going to be 7-3 going to the third quarter.
Sutherland gets 3 on first down. Doing my research today for this game, I saw it going one of two ways. Either something like this, where Detroit's going to control the ball, they're going to grind down the clock, and they're going to win maybe 16-10 or 16-13. Or Lexington's just got a high roll and blow the doors off the thing. And they are on the road, which means there's less of a chance of that happening. That's a nice run stop from Rock. And it's 3rd and 7. But we have definitely gotten the former.
Yeah, I was concerned about Lexington stopping Detroit front 7. I didn't think it was going to be this much of a problem.
3-man front on 3rd and 7. Ethan Flowers has not been great passing the ball today. Just 20 yards passing. He's going to roll out, throw back underneath. That's caught. C.J. Parrish, first down.
And that's like one of those third downs that hurt, because you did well to stop him on the run. You know that you want Ethan Flowers to pass the football, and he delivered a strike when there was 2-3 people covering that receiver.
Same thing about Gabriel Manning making that big catch at the end of the first half, right? It doesn't matter how much you plan for a situation. Sometimes offensive execution just beats defensive execution, as Gibson goes on first down for 3 yards.
And like, as we say all of this, Lexington can easily get a turnover and score here. This game is still wide open. They just have to show something on offense.
Here comes the pressure. What a great last-second block to give just enough time to Flowers to get it for Parrish for a first down.
I don't know how he got this ball off, because number 96 came clean off the edge. Good job by the right guard to recognize that he didn't have nobody to block and picked up the blocker at the last second.
Jack, big boss, man. That was a crazy Hail Mary block to just give his quarterback barely enough time. And now Sutherland's going to continue to try and grind down this Lexington defense. We hope you haven't forgotten that it's super simple to smash that like button and help the channel out. We've just crossed 8,500 subscribers. So subscribe if you haven't already, so you never miss a live stream, highlight, or podcast. Thank you for support of the Virtual Football Network and the Simulation Football League. Flowers, top of the pocket, throws a little bit too tall for Rob Hunt, back shoulder, incomplete.
Another 3rd down and 10. You know they like to Detroit to the rollout. If I'm Lexington, I'm going to send some pressure. I want to see Ethan Flowers a little bit rattle in that pocket.
Lexington does show pressure. They bring it. Pocket. Containment. And he threw the big bomb to try and find Rob Hunt. Both safeties were there. Travis Arthur officially gets the pat down on that deep pass, and it's 4th and 10.
And that's the stop that you want. Now you're going to get the ball back, and you want to establish the run game for Lexington a little bit more than just handing the ball off at first down and then passing it 2nd and 3rd. And so get something together.
Fair catch called for and made at the 20-yard line as we go back to SFL Studios with Cameron Irvine.
Thank you, Michael Turillo. Pittsburgh 1-13 on the road all time in Charleston tonight. Mike Churchill with the score. The Riverhogs take a 24-10 lead late in the third. Actually, 7:36 to go in the fourth quarter. back to you in Detroit.
So that's where all of our points went. It was being hogged by the other game in this block. Thank you for the update, Cam. 1st and 10 for Lexington from their own 20. Slider under pressure, down he goes. Another sack for this Detroit Maulers defense. It's the Lemon Man, Matthias Citrion.
And this has just been the theme. Pressure with your front four. It's just really tough. Like, you want to double team everyone, but you don't have enough players to do that.
I wrote down that that's what I was gonna say if you got a sack, and I still screwed it up. It's late. It's after 11 p.m.
It's late. Yeah.
2nd down and 14. Here comes the pressure again.
Oh.
They even bring a safety, but it doesn't matter because Robert Cherry gets a sack.
It's you get a sack, and you get a sack, and you get a sack. Everybody gets a sack. When you send just unconscious blitz after blitz after blitz, and they just can't pick it up right there, you're just hurting your quarterback's composure and wanting to throw the football. Jeez.
6 sacks for Detroit tonight. 3 of them by Sean Parent, 2 of them right back in a row. 3rd and a country mile deep strike caught close to a first down, almost picking it up as DJ Bandit. It took 3 Maulers to stop him short.
And guess what? He got hit again. Like the pressure got there. He just threw it right in time, but just short of the first down.
Yuki gonna have to punt it again. A heroic effort on 3rd and very long. Came up a yard short. Detroit gonna get the ball back, fumble the ball, and Detroit picks it up. That's twice now the Maulers have fumbled and recovered.
When things go your way.
Detroit hanging on by their shoe straps. Hunt fumbled. And I'm trying to see who picked that ball up. Todd Light, 4th cornerback on the depth chart, picked that one up and saved the Maulers' skin.
Every position is important. You never know when something like that happens.
1st down for Detroit. The handoff. Sutherland tries to bounce it outside. Nothing doing. Says Philadelphia Collins, along with RC Puff on the combo tackle.
And you think with us calling all these sacks out for Detroit and everything, you would think Detroit would be up by 2-3 touchdowns. Nope. This is still anyone's football game.
Because Detroit only has 109 yards of total offense. Sutherland again, about to go around the corner, slips Collins' tackle. Heslip drags him to the ground after a gain of 4. 116 yards of total offense for Detroit, 138 for Lexington, and -5 rushing yards for the Miners tonight. Just 36 passing yards for Detroit on the other end. This game playing out exactly how we thought it might at the top of the broadcast. 3rd and 6, another passing down. Flowers against the pressure, stands in, backs up, throws deep, caught by Rob Hunt. Best catch of the game for Detroit, all the way inside the Lexington 40.
So that type of route, when you go from one side to the other, it takes time, and that's what Detroit did with their offensive line. Gave it time for that play to develop and deliver the strike man coverage. That's the best way to beat it. Crossing routes.
This is only the 2nd time Detroit's been in plus territory tonight. The other time was when they scored their touchdown off of a deep interception back in the 2nd quarter. Inside the 40-yard line now. The handoff to Sutherland. He's hit hard at the 2nd level by Travis Arthur. 2nd and 6.
And what makes it so demoralizing, that first down, is because you know they're going to go back to running the football, which takes so much out of you in the game.
Second and 6. Another handoff on a sweep to Gibson. Gets 1, 3rd and 5. This is the Simulation Football League here on the Virtual Football Network. This week on VFN, SFL Week 5 is tonight, Sunday, and Monday. And the UFL's final 3 weeks of the regular season continues on Saturday and Tuesday. No other network gives you more football. The SFL lives on the Virtual Football Network. Deep strike, tipped, and incomplete. Iggy Turner, the important interaction on that play, 4th and 5.
And they're making timely stops right here. Good job by Lexington knocking that ball away. I do like the throw down the deep down the sideline. That's always good to see, but Lexington gets the ball back. Let's see if something can be different on offense.
Alice. It's going to be returned by Manning from the 3-yard line. Dangerous play. Only gets 2 up to the 5. And with all the sacks that have been happening in this part of the field for Detroit, you got to go with some quick action here if you're Lexington, else you're in danger of getting a safety on you.
Mike, I'm scared about this.
They got James and Francis in the backfield. They'll run it with James. Nice gap in the middle. Picks up 5. The run game for Lexington has pretty much been non-existent tonight. Had -5 rushing yards before that play, now down to a total of 0. Second and 5. Lexington is trying to get out of the shadow of their own goalposts. They'll run it with Ian Francis. He picks up 2. Francis's first carry of the game.
Good back-to-back runs right here. This 3rd and 3 is extremely manageable, but you know they're going to try to look for Manning. I love this matchup on the outside.
Here we go, 3rd and 3, really important for Lexington if they want to continue to stay in this game. They'll run the ball, and the purple wave says absolutely not. Casper Haddock, first man to him.
Oh, that's not your identity. You know you want to pass the football here. 3 straight runs. You're running into the heart of the defense right there. I don't know about that play, man.
Look at the average yards per play. My goodness. It's like we're back in the 1930s.
This is defense. And if you don't like defense, this is probably not the game you're going to enjoy.
Lexington has just been completely shut down. I mean, averaging 31 points a game in their first 3 games of the season. They scored 30 against Sin City, 34 against Pittsburgh, and in a losing effort against Arizona, 30. They got 3 points, and we're approaching the end of the 3rd quarter.
And I'm telling you, I'm calling it right now, Mike. This is going to go down to the wire. I think this is going to be a extremely close game the rest of the way.
It might end 7-3. Neither offense has shown us anything tonight. Flowers under pressure, popped up in the air and intercepted. Lexington has been flirting with that interception all night. Still can't convert it. Cameron Shaw can't grab the football.
That is the 3rd drop interception for Lexington right there. If you go back, when you go back and look at this game, you're going to look at situations like that could have been a momentum changer.
Arthur's dropped 2, now Shaw's dropped 1. Deep strike, right to the middle. C.J. Parrish puts Detroit in scoring position.
And what a way to capitalize on the mistake to not get the interception. Not afraid to throw the football again. I like that. That's a level route. Somebody was going low, medium, and high. They just went with the high receiver on that target.
Yeah, that's just one-on-one slot post, Anthony. And you just one cut, get inside position, and the ball's right there in between his shoulder pads.
It's the timing route.
Now inside the 30. A chance to put points on the board for Detroit for the first time since the 2nd quarter, really early in the 2nd quarter as well. They'll throw the screen pass. Sutherland with a head of steam, picking up 4 yards. And Lexington scored their 3 points on the first drive of the game with 6:29 to go in the 1st quarter. Detroit countered with a touchdown after an interception with 6:36 to go in the 2nd quarter. And then every drive since then has been either a turnover on downs, a missed field goal, or a punt. Can Detroit change that here? Screen far side. Henson can't turn upfield, and that'll be the end of the third quarter with the score Detroit 7, Lexington 3, but the Maulers in field goal range. Want more than that though, but they'll have to convert a third down once we start the fourth quarter. Defensive battle after dark here on the Virtual Football Network. Thank you for sticking with us. Michael Toretto and Anthony Allison in the booth. Takeda Yuki and John Smith on stats. Kevin Irvine, producer extraordinaire. We'll switch ends of the field. Massive conversion attempt here coming for Detroit. Bunch formation to the right-hand side. They'll roll opposite. Look for the one-on-one matchup.
Ooh.
Oh, Rob Hunt was open, but a beautiful diving tip. I believe it was Shaw.
And we saw that pass completed in the first half when they had 3 people in coverage and he threw a dime. That time just stretched out and prevented a first down. And good job, because now if they make it, it's only a 1-score game still.
I'm going to say Cameron Shaw got his hand to that with a diving attempt, like a goalkeeper tipping it over the bar. The field goal is good. It's the first points for either team since the 6:35 mark of the second quarter, but still a 1-score game. 10-3, Detroit leads.
And that was a big stop, more than a lot of people know, because you prevent them from possibly getting a touchdown, holding them to a field goal. A touchdown ties the football game, and we have a lot of ball game left.
But I'm going to tell you what Lexington's done since getting that field goal on their first drive of the game. Punt, missed field goal, punt, another missed field goal, punt.
That sounds like fun, huh?
Sounds like the Detroit Maulers defense. The Maulers now have more total yards than the Miners on the game. They'll try and stick with this ground game that saw a little bit of work last time and pick up 5 on the pitch.
The clock is running.
It's not like Deion James hasn't seen any rushing this season. 60 carries coming into the game, still top 10 in the league, 12th in rushing yards, 216 with 3 touchdowns. Just against this extremely stout run defense for Detroit, hasn't had a lot of love. 2nd and 5. They'll pitch the other way. Ian Francis, 3rd and 1.
A good job by Casper Hada. Didn't get the tackle, but forced the running back in, cut back in towards all the rest of the Detroit players.
3rd and 1 here. Deion James dots the I. Will they just go power football? They will. James fighting through arm tackles. He got it. By the slimmest of margins.
Ooh, fighting for every single yard. That's why you don't give up on a play.
And for the 2nd time tonight, Detroit challenges the spot on 3rd and short. They won the challenge the first time, and I think they actually might have a better chance this time than they had in the first half.
Yeah, this one is going to be a lot closer here. Number 40 tries to stop it. I think they're short.
Let's see, this angle will tell us very clearly. Yeah, I think you're right, Anthony. I think they're short. 2 excellent challenge calls from J.W. Hartshorn on the sideline. Detroit not charged the timeout. And Lexington once again has a drive stall out after just 1 set of downs.
And that's just tough right there. Even when you thought you were getting something going, great job in the booth above, calling down there saying you should challenge it, and they were right.
Yuki, another punt. He's had a lot of work tonight. Detroit will start on their own 28, 8:28 to go. Still a 1-score game. but it feels like Ethan Flowers has figured out a little something with those level routes to maybe pick apart this Lexington defense.
The simple progression, 1, 2, 3, you look to see what the defender is going for and you throw it to the other one.
Or they can keep that ground game chugging. Terrell Sutherland, who's got 47 yards on the game right now, will go backwards 1. They'll see he got back to the line of scrimmage. Big hit by Philadelphia Collins. We do have a final in the other game of this late night block. Pittsburgh goes on the road and defeats Charlotte, Charleston, 24-10. I was even in the wrong Carolina on that one. I don't know about that.
Might have been Carolina playing.
Deep strike. It's Rob Hunt again. Just got that half-step lead on Cameron Shaw, and that's all he needed to pull down the big catch.
And that is just confidence after just today's game right there. What a way to find the man coverage, threw the ball inside, and that caught Lexington off guard because you haven't seen him throw the football like that all day.
And now Sutherland back to the ground, came punishing defenders with a big hit, 9-yard gain.
It just seems like they just been calling the right play at the right time, getting that first down, and now they're going to go back to the ground. You get 9 yards off first down right here. You know what's probably going to happen. That quarterback sneak looks nice and good right now.
They'll go to it again, and this time Ethan Flowers saw a little bit of room. He says, I ain't sliding, I'm getting a couple more yards there.
And now we're about to find out the conditioning of your offense and your defense right there. Because this is money time here. This is when the offensive lineman gets a little bit stronger. We're going to see who does those extra sprints in practice.
Right now, the leverage goes to Detroit. Rob Hunt goes to the slot on the left-hand side. He's got a couple of huge catches tonight. Weak side run. Sutherland can't get past the first defender, just a 3-yard gain. Hunt, 8 catches, 64 yards, 8 yards per reception. "15 more plays Detroit has run than Lexington tonight." Toss to Wint. Driven backwards. They'll give him 2 on forward progress. 3rd down and 8.
And they just been having a little problem with those out routes there. You want to lead it out so they can just keep on running. You don't want to throw those back inside right here. Big 3rd down coming up.
Can Lexington get a half stop? It would still be a 2-score game, but slightly more manageable for the Miners. Rob Hunt says no. Stick him on that left glove and draw that ball in.
He did stick him on those gloves right there. That is a tough throw. You saw the safety right in the middle. You still throw it, and you're just hopefully you just believe that your receiver is going to come down with it, which they did.
Ethan Flowers showing off that arm strength. A bullet pass to find Rob Hunt. A touchdown here might be a game ender with definitely under 5 to go after the end of this drive. Sutherland keeps that clock moving. Terrell Sutherland, 17 carries, 59 yards. The only touchdown for Detroit came on a swing pass to Sutherland. Back in the second quarter, Gibson diving touchdown!
And the way this game is going, that might be that nail that's gonna end the game right here. This is just tired. You've been running the football. Your offensive line has been pushing the defensive line of Lexington right here. I love patience. I love when you see the blockers, you react to it. That's just a statement run for Detroit.
Andrew Gibson, who's played a little bit of second fiddle tonight in the run game to Terrell Sutherland, picks up the touchdown, his 3rd rushing touchdown of the season. It is 17-3, and with under 5 to go, that might be all she wrote.
Yeah, Lexington now is going to have to be ultra aggressive in the passing game, which they've been having problems with because they haven't had time to throw the football.
It's been a tough night for Lexington offensively. Sometimes you go on the road and you just kind of get out game planned. And this game has definitely looked more like a Maulers game than a Miners game. Gabriel Manning gets up near the 25-yard line with that return. It finally feels like the dam has broken. 17-3, Detroit over Lexington with just over 5 to go. First play of the drive, pressure again from Detroit. Slider gets it away, but has to throw it incomplete into his own bench.
And this is what we've seen. They're not letting up. They are up by 14 points, and they do not care. They keep sending pressure that's just messing with the composure of Kenny Slider.
Slider, bullet pass, intercepted Rashid. He's got his second pick of the night. That'll certainly end the ball game. Kenny Slider takes down Rashid, who was on his way to the end zone, if it not for that touchdown. And Detroit is gonna go to 3-1. If you look at the history of this franchise, only one winning season in 6 years at Indianapolis. A massive 3-1 start for Detroit this season.
Put the crown on that man right there. Just ball hawking all night long right here. And this has just been a phenomenal defensive play calling for Detroit.
A throw short, just to the tight end, short cross to keep the clock going. And you know, Lexington came in at a three-way tie atop the East at 2-1. Them, Charleston, and Florida all 2-1, and all lost tonight, so they're all now 2-2. Carolina, of course, 0-3. They'll play tomorrow. And Detroit sitting second in a crowded North Division with 5 teams in it. Gibson off the left-hand side, tackled short of the first down. Came in today at 2-1 Detroit behind the Dragons of DC at 3-0. Detroit, DC, had to come from behind late to beat Queen City earlier tonight. So the Dragons are 4-0. And so Detroit really needed to win this one to keep pace with DC.
And this is a statement win early in the season for Detroit. This is scary for other teams because defense wins championships, and they are a very sound defensive team.
I mean, to hold a team that had not scored under 30 points, look out! Ethan Flowers was looking for the purple end zone. He gets on all the way to the 2-yard line. Detroit and DC don't play until week 12. Lots could happen between now and then, but that one might be for the division if both teams continue on their current track.
This Detroit team believes in their product and what they can do, running the football and playing sound defense. That will get you far in this league.
Nobody has been able to crack this Detroit defense yet. It is going to be a quarterback touchdown run as Ethan Flowers slides into the end zone. As Detroit piling it on here in the fourth quarter. And I think that's just the Lexington defense has been on the field for most of this game. They just can't keep up anymore.
And we talked about it, Mike, time for possession. Detroit owns that this far this season. We're seeing it again. And regardless of how great your defense can be, when you're on the field 75% of the game, you're going to be tired.
Almost a 4-minute time of possession. I'm sorry, almost a 5-minute time of possession advantage for Detroit this evening. And the total yards speak for themselves. 154 for Lexington. I mean, even in the loss that Lexington had to Arizona in week 2, they still put up 30 points. To hold them to 3, crazy.
Didn't see this happening.
I don't think in the Detroit locker room wildest dreams that this would be the score. They might have thought they would win, but they might have thought they might have had to lean on their offense a little more than they had to. Remember, this game was 7-3 up until about 3 minutes ago.
Yeah, and I think they were confident the whole time when it was 7-3 because that defense sent so much pressure and got so many sacks.
And I think Lexington has decided to throw in the towel. They'll go up tempo on 5 wide, but a little underneath pass once, now twice to the tight end DJ Bandit. Gets them up near the 40-yard line. Coming up this week on the SFL, Sunday, a 4-pack of games gets started with Denver and Carolina at 6:30 Eastern, plus Bossier City, Chicago, Sin City, Washington, and LA, Vancouver. The SFL lives on the Virtual Football Network as we see the 2-minute warning here in Detroit. It's all Maulers here in this fourth quarter. And really, Anthony Ellison, it's been all Maulers since the 6.5-minute mark of the first quarter.
Yeah, when they just kept on sending pressure up the middle. It's the thing with Lexington is they make big plays, those big pass down the field. To do that, you need time in the pocket. So Detroit said, okay, we're going to send pressure so you cannot have that time in the pocket to throw it deep.
Of course, all those games on Sunday and, of course, on Monday, the Monday Night Spectacular. It's Houston at Albuquerque in a South Division matchup. It's another sack for Detroit. They bring the house. Robert Cherry gets his second on the night, and the timeouts start falling. Of all the games that are coming up this week, Anthony, what do you got your eye on? I'm looking at LA Vancouver, of course, just to see if Vancouver continue their hot start to the season.
No, I want to keep on. I'm now have my eyes on Detroit the rest of the way to see their progression, because this defense and this performance right here, the team should be really scary. 3 straight wins after the first week loss to Queen City, win out from Pittsburgh, beat Oklahoma City, and now Lexington. This is a team that we need to keep our eyes on the rest of the season.
Next week for Detroit, they're home again against Chicago. It's the Sean Parent's game, as Parent goes back to to face his former team that he got an all-star nod with last season. That'll be 4th down, incomplete, 1st and 10 for Detroit. Now you can start kneeling this out. Coming up next for Lexington, it's a division matchup 2 of the next 3 weeks. Home against Florida, who lost earlier tonight against Minnesota. Then at LA and at Charleston, another divisional matchup. But I don't think Lexington should take too much negativity from this game. Yeah, it kind of fell apart there at the end, but all you got to do is pretty much look at your offense and say, where did we go wrong today? Tune up a couple of things, and you're right back in it. Gibson, left-hand side, 1 yard.
This has been just a incredible performance. You see in this team, Detroit, that you don't have to do complex plays and crazy passing routes here. Just run the football, find different ways to run it. And, we've seen the evolution of Ethan Flowers running the football today has been phenomenal.
What does Lexington have to do over the week to get ready for their next opponent? What do they fix from tonight?
They need to fix the interior of the offensive line, put more protection, and you know what? Honestly, just go back and have a good week at practice. You got roughed up here, but you know that you have elite receiving core and Alex Wex and Manning. We saw Sango have really good catches and run after the catch. So you have a good offense, but you just got to tighten up the blocking.
And also, I mean, it's still early in the season. You're going to be 2-2, but 3 out of the 4 teams in your conference are also 2-2. So still plenty of time for Lexington to get back on it, potentially win this division.
Yeah, this division, like you said, it's going to be wide open. It's going to go down to the last weeks. Winning your division, division matchups are going to be key for Lexington.
And of course, only a 4-team division in the East. So everybody plays 2 divisional games, or an extra divisional game. For Lexington, that's Charleston. They'll play the Predators twice in Week 9 and the last week of the season, Week 15, as Detroit will kneel this one out. The Detroit Maulers defense gets the game ball from me today, holding the Miners to just 3 points and 182 total yards. 2 interceptions by King Rashid, 8 sacks combined, 3 from Sean Parent, all in the first half, and that leads to a 24-3 Detroit victory at home on Friday night.
10 turnovers. When you get 10 turnovers by defense, you're expected to win.
Taking a look at some of the individual numbers. Ethan Flowers, 29 attempts, 146 yards, 1 touchdown, that 1-yard pass on the swing to Terrell Sutherland, excuse me. But it was all rushing for Detroit on offense. Sutherland, 18 carries, 62 yards. Ethan Flowers, 25 yards on 10 carries and a touchdown, all on those 3rd and short. They really punished that 3-man front of Lexington with those 3rd and shorts. And Andrew Gibson, 11 carries, 43 yards, and a late touchdown as well. Just 190 yards through the air for Kenny Slider. Lexington wideouts didn't really do much. Alex West, 11 targets, 46 yards. Gabriel Manning, 10 targets, 70 yards. Just that one big 28-yard reception right at the end of the first half was all really that he had. They never went back to Alex West, didn't have a target in the second half. DJ Bandit had 3 catches. Marquis Sango had 2 catches before he went out with injury. But of course, it's all on the defense. Officially 7 sacks for Detroit tonight. 3 by Parent, 2 by Cherry, 1 each by Gaston and Citrion. And that's the tail of the tape, Anthony.
Yep, absolutely. And then also converting those 3rd downs, just keeping the drive alive and keeping Lexington defense on the field.
That'll do it for us here on Late Night Block of SFL Action. Thank you for sticking with us to 11:30 p.m. Eastern Time. For Anthony Ellison, my name is Michael Turillo. We were also joined by John Smith and Takeda Yuki on Stats Cam and Irvine, producer as always. We will see you on Sunday for more SFL action here on the Virtual Football Network. Till then, have a great night.